Welcome to Book Summary Podcast, your gateway to personal transformation. Each episode delivers big ideas from the world's most impactful books on mindset, productivity, and success, all in just a few minutes. Ready to turn knowledge into action? Let's get started.
Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. You know those people, right? The ones who just seem to effortlessly get it.
Oh yeah, they just glide through.
Exactly. They glide through challenges, seemingly born with some kind of magical gift. We marvel at them, we admire them, and sometimes, if we're honest, we wonder if we could ever possibly measure up.
The naturals, the prodigies.
Right. They make it look so easy. But what if that perspective, that laser focus on innate, inborn talent, is actually holding us back from our own potential? What if the real secret to remarkable achievement is something far more universal, something entirely within your grasp, something that doesn't require a lottery win in the genetic department?
It's a powerful question, isn't it? We are so deeply conditioned to seek out and celebrate the natural. Our narratives, from sports to business to the arts, often revolve around innate brilliance. But perhaps, just perhaps, we've been looking in the entirely wrong place for the true sources of sustained excellence.
Absolutely, and that's precisely what we're here to unpack today. We are embarking on a deep dive into the compelling insights of Angela Duckworth's acclaimed work on grit, the power of passion and perseverance.
A fascinating book.
Definitely. Our mission is threefold. First, we're going to unpack why our traditional understanding of success might be fundamentally flawed, causing us to misattribute accomplishment.
Right. Why we get it wrong sometimes.
Second, we'll explore the true, often hidden components of sustained, long-term achievement. And most importantly for you, our listener, we'll discover how you can actively apply these powerful ideas to cultivate more grit in your own life.
Yeah, the practical side.
Transforming not just what you achieve, but how you approach challenges and pursue your most meaningful goals every single day.
Indeed, this isn't just an academic exercise. This deep dive aims to give you practical, actionable insights. The core idea we'll wrestle with today is this. Could the most profound, lasting achievements in life, the ones that truly change things, have less to do with who's the smartest person in the room and everything to do with who's the grittiest?
That really flips the script, doesn't it?
It's a challenge to conventional wisdom, absolutely, and it opens up a world of possibility.
Okay, let's unpack this because it directly challenges a belief many of us grew up with, perhaps even still hold. Angela Duckworth herself, the author of Grit, speaks to this directly.
Yeah, her personal story is key here.
It really is. She grounds her research in a deeply personal origin story. She recalls her own upbringing, where her brilliant but often frustrated father was constantly focused on genius, talent, and who had more than whom.
Wow. Intense pressure.
You bet. He was obsessed with intellect, meticulously tracking his own IQ score and fretting about the intelligence of his children. He apparently had a yardstick that put Albert Einstein at the very top. And by that measure, none of his children, including Angela, even came close. This, she says, was a source of profound disappointment to him.
Ouch.
He genuinely worried this perceived intellectual handicap would severely limit what they'd eventually achieve in life. He saw a fixed ceiling, determined at birth.
What's truly fascinating here is how Duckworth responded to that early, intense, talent-centric pressure, rather than internalizing it as a limitation.
Which would be so easy to do.
Totally. Instead, she describes a quiet but resolute defiance. It was a personal commitment she made to herself, a kind of internal vow. I'm going to grow up to love my work as much as you love yours.
Powerful.
I won't just have a job. I'll have a calling. I'll challenge myself every day. And when I get knocked down, I'll get back up.
So it wasn't about matching Einstein's IQ.
Not at all. It was about something else entirely. It was this powerful realization born from her own experience and observation that ultimately led her to conclude, in the long run, Dad, grit may matter more than talent.
That's a profound shift in perspective.
Huge, moving the locus of sustained achievement from innate ability to something cultivated. Sustained effort and enduring passion.
So, to truly understand this concept of grit, and to put her hypothesis to the test, Duckworth looked for a real-world crucible, a place where both talent and perseverance would be pushed to their absolute limits.
Right, she needed a proving ground.
Exactly. Her first major research effort, which she undertook in graduate school, focused on the United States Military Academy at West Point. And when you think about West Point, you immediately think of excellence.
The best of the best, right?
Supposedly. Each year, More than 14,000 high school juniors apply. This pool is then meticulously winnowed down. Congressional nominations, physical tests, mental tests.
A real gauntlet.
And only about 2,500 meet the exceptionally rigorous standards. From that group, a mere 1,200 are finally admitted.
Wow. So these are incredibly capable individuals.
You'd think so. These aren't just smart kids. Nearly all of them were varsity athletes. Most were team captains, honor society members, student government leaders.
But the whole package.
The cream of the crop, you'd assume. Destined for success.
You'd certainly expect them to be the epitome of drive and talent. But here's the shocker, the surprising outcome that initially baffled everyone.
Yeah.
1 in 5 cadets will drop out before graduation. 1 in 5.
No way. After all that selection.
Exactly. And what's even more remarkable, a substantial fraction of them don't even make it past their very first summer. They leave during an intensive, grueling 7-week training program aptly named Beast Barracks. Or simply Beast.
Beast Barracks. Sounds unpleasant.
Oh, it is. Imagine weeks of constant physical exertion, sleep deprivation, intense psychological pressure, relentless demands, all designed to break you down and rebuild you.
Purposefully break you down.
Yes. As one cadet grimly put it, the system will find your weaknesses, but that's the point. West Point toughens you.
Okay.
This reveals a deep disconnect between who seems most talented on paper and who actually endures.
So the big question.
This raises an important question. Who truly makes it through Beast and why? What intangible quality allowed certain individuals to persist when others, equally or even more talented by conventional measures, buckled under the pressure?
That was the puzzle Duckworth wanted to solve.
Precisely. Seeking to identify this elusive quality that psychologists like Jerry Kagan had tried to quantify decades earlier, starting way back in 1955, recognizing that something beyond IQ was at play in predicting life outcomes.
Now, it's not just in academia or military training that this talent mindset can lead us astray. Let's challenge it in the professional world, where it's had significant influence.
Oh yeah, the corporate world loves talent.
Right. There's a well-known business philosophy, popular in the late 1990s and beyond, called the war for talent, popularized by the consulting giant McKinsey.
I remember that.
The core idea here was pretty radical.
Yeah.
Aggressively identify and promote your most talented employees while just as aggressively culling the least talented.
Rank and yank, basically.
Kind of. The belief was that huge salary disparities were justified, even desirable, because they supposedly encouraged the stars to stick around and perform at their peak. It was about creating an elite internal market for talent.
But this philosophy, while initially compelling, has faced significant and well-deserved critique.
Oh, so?
Well, Generalist Duff McDonald, for instance, in The War on Common Sense, points out that many of the companies initially highlighted by McKinsey as exemplars of this strategy.
The stars of the war for talent.
Yeah, them. They actually didn't do so well in the years following the report's publication. They didn't achieve the promised sustained competitive advantage.
Interesting.
And Malcolm Gladwell, another insightful journalist, has famously critiqued this approach, pointing to the spectacular collapse of Enron.
Ah, Enron, the poster child.
Exactly. Enron, he notes, truly epitomized this talent mindset. They aggressively recruited from top schools, offered lavish compensation, fostered intense internal competition, encouraged individualistic risk-taking.
All in the name of innovation and talent.
Right. Yet, as we all know, Enron's story doesn't have a happy ending. It collapsed due to massive fraud, despite being named America's most innovative company 6 years running.
So the obsession with talent didn't save them.
Worse than that. The key insight here isn't merely that talent isn't everything. It's that a singular, aggressive, almost obsessive focus on innate talent might actually undermine the very qualities needed for sustained success.
Like what?
Like resilience, collaboration, ethical conduct, genuine long-term growth. It can inadvertently foster an environment of fear, comparison, short-term gain, rather than shared striving and collective endurance.
So this raises an important question. Does prioritizing talent actually lead to better outcomes, or does it blind us to other crucial factors?
That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it?
It's a critical point, and one that Duckworth herself experienced firsthand. After graduating from college, she had a stint at McKinsey.
Oh, really? At the source?
Yep. The very firm that championed this war for talent. She vividly recalls feeling like she had no idea what I was talking about while putting together recommendations for a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate.
Huh. The imposter syndrome.
Maybe. But she mused on why they were hired at such exorbitant cost. concluding that part of it was we were supposed to be sharper than the people who were already on site.
Right, the hired guns.
Hiring McKinsey meant hiring the very best and brightest, as if being the brightest also made us the best. It was this disconnect between perceived brilliance and actual competence that struck her deeply.
And this is precisely the core problem Duckworth identifies. She argues that by shining our spotlight on talent, we risk leaving everything else in the shadows.
Makes sense.
We inadvertently send the message that factors like grit, passion, and perseverance don't matter as much as they really do.
Yeah.
It signals that if you aren't naturally gifted, your effort might not be enough.
Which can be incredibly demotivating.
Exactly. And leads individuals and organizations to miss out on their most tenacious, dedicated contributors.
To illustrate just how deeply ingrained this talent bias is, even when we consciously say we value hard work, let's look at the truly surprising story of Scott Barry Kaufman.
Ah, his story is remarkable.
Isn't it? Today, he's a highly accomplished academic psychologist, Carnegie Mellon, Cambridge, Yale degrees, publishes in top journals, teaches at Columbia, plays the cello.
He looks like the definition of natural talent.
Totally. On the surface, he seems like the quintessential natural, someone born with an intellectual gift.
But his childhood reality was starkly, heartbreakingly different. Scott was not seen as gifted. He was considered a slow learner.
Really? How slow?
He suffered from numerous debilitating ear infections as a child, which led to significant processing issues. He was always a step or two behind the other kids, struggling to keep up.
Oh, wow.
His academic progress was so halting, he was placed in special education classes and even repeated third grade.
Repeated third grade. That's tough.
And during an anxiety-ridden IQ test, the pressure and his processing issues caused him to perform so poorly, he was diagnosed with a learning disability and sent to a special school.
So the system basically wrote him off early on.
Pretty much. This reveals a profound, almost tragic disconnect between perceived early talent and his astonishing actualized potential later in life.
So what changed? His turning point, a truly pivotal moment, came at age 14.
Yeah.
He was in special education, and a remarkably observant teacher looked at him and asked simply, "Why aren't you in more challenging classes?"
Just that simple question.
Just that. Up until that moment, Scott had simply assumed his lack of talent would put a very low ceiling on what he might do. He'd internalized that fixed mindset.
Makes sense, given his experience.
But that single teacher's belief, her question, was a catalyst. It shifted his self-perception from, "This is all you could do," to, "Who knows what you can do."
Wow, the power of one teacher.
Incredible, right? From that moment, he began actively taking on every challenge he could find. Latin, choir, discovered the cello.
The cello, okay.
And he didn't just practice. He practiced with almost fierce dedication, 8 or 9 hours a day, driven not just by enjoyment, but by a powerful desire to prove his intellectual capability. He wanted to redefine himself through effort.
8 or 9 hours a day, that's grit right there. And this story connects directly to psychologist Chia Jung-se's fascinating research.
What did she find?
She found this inherent, often unconscious bias towards naturals. In her studies, professional musicians were presented with identical biographies and musical clips. Only difference, one pianist was described as a natural, the other a striver, who achieved mastery through immense effort.
Okay, so what happened?
Even though the musicians explicitly said effortful training was more important, they consistently judged the natural to be more likely to succeed and more hireable.
Seriously, even the pros.
Yep. And the same bias showed up in entrepreneurship studies, too. It suggests a deep-seated preference for innate giftedness, even when our rational minds value hard work.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe we want to believe in the magic of inherent genius because it's simpler. Or maybe more comforting than confronting the raw, persistent effort it truly takes.
That's a challenging thought. And this fascination with natural genius isn't new, is it?
Not at all. If we dive into the historical and philosophical underpinnings, we see Francis Galton.
Darwin's cousin, right.
That's the one, a brilliant Victorian polymath. He conducted early studies on high achievement back in 1869, tracking family trees of eminent people.
And what did he find?
Galton, a child prodigy himself, concluded high achievers had unusual ability combined with exceptional zeal and the capacity for hard labor. So for him, innate talent was definitely a key factor.
Okay, so Galton emphasizes talent.
But what's so incredibly interesting and often overlooked is Charles Darwin's immediate, profound disagreement with his own cousin.
Oh, Darwin disagreed.
Strongly. After reading Galton's work, Darwin wrote a letter stating, "I have always maintained that, excepting fools, Men did not differ much in intellect, only in zeal and hard work, and I still think this is an eminently important difference.
Wow. Darwin pushing back on talent, emphasizing zeal and hard work.
Exactly. This raises an important question. Why, then, despite such a strong early counter-argument from a titan like Darwin, do we still fixate so heavily on talent?
Good question. Why do we?
Maybe it speaks to that deep human preference for the effortless over the effortful.
Exactly. And this sentiment was powerfully echoed by William James, one of the founders of modern psychology.
William James, brilliant thinker.
In his seminal 1907 essay, The Energies of Men, he observed a pervasive gap between potential and its actualization, stating bluntly that the human individual lives usually far within his limits, failing to use possible mental and physical resources.
So we're leaving potential on the table.
A lot of it, according to James. He asserted that while talents vary, the plain fact remains that men the world over possess amounts of resource, which only very exceptional individuals push to their extremes of use. He believed we are often only half awake, our fires damped, our drafts checked.
Leaving vast untapped reservoirs within us. And then there's the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche.
Nietzsche weighed in on genius, too.
Oh, he did. He thought long and hard about it. He provocatively wrote, "With everything perfect, we do not ask how it came to be.
We just admire the result."
Precisely. He suggested we actively prefer the magic of inherent talent because, as he put it, our vanity, our self-love, promotes the cult of the genius.
Our vanity? How so?
Because it lets us off the hook from comparing ourselves and, crucially, from striving. If someone's a natural, their genius is out of reach, a special gift. We prefer excellence to appear fully formed.
Like magic.
Preferring the mystery to mundanity, because the idea of painstaking, relentless effort is less glamorous and perhaps more demanding of our own self.
So what was Nietzsche's true conclusion about greatness? Did he buy into the magic?
Not at all. He implored us to see exemplars not as divine beings, but as meticulous craftsmen. He emphasized the seriousness of the efficient workman who patiently masters little secondary things before the whole.
Focus on the craft, the details.
Exactly. Greatness, he said, comes from people whose thinking is active in one direction, who employ everything as material, who never tire of combining together the means available to them.
So it's about deliberate, painstaking, relentless effort.
Accumulated hours of detailed work, not some mystical endowment. It's a profound call to shift our focus from innate sparkle to acquired, hard-won brilliance.
It's a powerful reframing, urging us to look beyond the surface, beyond the final, polished product.
And recognize the immense, often invisible effort and dedication that goes into what we perceive as effortless genius. And this brings us directly to the core mathematical and conceptual foundation of Angela Duckworth's work on grit.
Yes, this leads us to the heart of Duckworth's argument, a breakthrough she dubbed the grit equation.
Right, the math behind the magic, so to speak.
Exactly. She describes a pivotal moment in graduate school when her advisor, the renowned psychologist Marty Seligman,
A giant in the field.
in his characteristic direct manner, famously told her, "You haven't had a good idea in 2 years."
Oof, tough love.
Very. He then challenged her, with a healthy dose of provocation, to develop a comprehensive theory for achievement to explain how exactly talent and effort and skill and achievement all fit together in a measurable, coherent way.
And she delivered a framework that is both simple and profoundly insightful. Duckworth unveils two simple yet extraordinarily powerful equations.
Okay, lay them on us.
The first is skill, talent x effort.
Skill equals talent times effort. Got it.
Here, talent is defined very specifically as the rate at which your skills improve when you invest effort. It's a multiplier for learning.
Okay, so talent helps you learn faster with effort.
Correct. The second equation is achievement, skill x effort.
Achievement equals skill times effort.
This means achievement is what happens when you take your acquired skills, refined through effort, and then apply them productively, again, through effort.
Okay, talent x effort gets you skill. Skill x effort gets you achievement.
Exactly.
And this is where it gets really interesting and truly crucial for you to grasp. Effort factors into the calculations twice, not once.
That's the kicker, isn't it? Effort counts double.
It builds skill, and then it makes that skill productive. This isn't just a clever phrase. It's a mathematical truth that radically shifts the advantage from the gifted to the diligent.
Yeah, it implies a compounding effect. Effort builds your potential, turning raw talent into refined skill, and then it multiplies the impact of that potential by ensuring those skills are actually put to use. It's like compound interest for your abilities.
A forced talent simply can't replicate on its own.
It truly emphasizes the disproportionate, almost exponential power of sustained effort over innate ability alone. To illustrate this, let's look at some real-world examples.
Yeah, let's make it concrete. Consider Warren McKenzie, a world-renowned potter. His journey exemplifies how consistent effort builds skill over a lifetime.
Ah, the potter. Great example.
When he began, he describes making pretty awful pots, clunky and uninspired. But through relentless daily practice, his skill improved dramatically,
Just grinding it out.
evolving to creating works of richness and profound beauty, now in museums worldwide. He famously said, "The first 10,000 pots are difficult, and then it gets a little bit easier."
10,000 pots. Mackenzie's adage perfectly embodies how consistent, deliberate effort compounds over time. It wasn't an inherent gift, it was dedication to those thousands of difficult pots.
Learning from each one.
Right. Daily application of effort. This consistent investment transforms raw ability into true artistry, showing how skill, talent, X effort plays out. It's deliberate practice turning potential into capability.
Then there's John Irving, the acclaimed writer,
Oh, the novelist, another great case.
whose novels are known for their intricate plots and vivid characters. What's surprising is that he struggled profoundly with reading and writing as a child.
Really? John Irving.
Yep. Described himself as lazy and stupid due to undiagnosed dyslexia. Yet, he learned a fundamental truth. To do anything really well, you have to overextend yourself. In my case, I learned that I just had to pay twice as much attention.
Twice the effort just to keep up.
He highlights how something that felt never natural can, through repetition and sheer will, become almost second nature, but only after enormous repeated effort. He rewrites obsessively, hundreds of times sometimes.
Irving's story reveals a crucial lesson those who find things easy might miss. The capacity to struggle, to cultivate patience, to persist through frustration.
The value of the struggle itself.
Absolutely. His dedication to rewriting, paying twice as much attention, allowed him to become a master despite early struggles. His achievement wasn't natural ease, but relentless effort building and applying his skill. That's achievement, skill X effort. He used his painstakingly acquired skills to produce masterpieces.
And finally, a compelling insight from someone many see as effortlessly talented. Will Smith.
Ah, the Fresh Prince himself.
Actor, musician, he's reflected a lot on his success. He once observed, "I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic."
Wow, sickening work ethic.
He states that accomplishment is very much about going the distance. He's known for being first on set, last to leave, constantly rehearsing, pushing himself.
Smith's perspective powerfully reinforces that true accomplishment isn't about being born with some magic gift. It's about the relentless, often uncomfortable application of effort.
Showing up day after day.
Pushing past discomfort, accumulating hours, refusing to give up. His immense success is a testament to the fact that effort counts tremendously and that going the distance, that consistent application, is the ultimate differentiator, the double impact of effort.
To really drive home this idea of sustained effort and its long-term impact, let's consider a remarkable study involving the Harvard treadmill test back in the 1940s.
The treadmill test? Sounds ominous.
It kind of was. Designed to measure something elusive, stamina and strength of will. They'd push men through increasing challenges on a treadmill, gauging how long they would literally push themselves, often to exhaustion.
Physically and mentally taxing, I bet.
For sure. And, crucially, they adjusted for baseline physical fitness to isolate the impact of sheer willpower, that internal drive to persist.
Okay, so they controlled for fitness. Then what?
Decades later, a psychiatrist named George Vaillant conducted a follow-up study on these very same men, now in their 60s.
Wow, tracking them for decades.
He assessed their psychological adjustment throughout adulthood, income, career, sick days, social life, marriage, psychiatrist visits, everything.
And the finding?
The shocking and profoundly illuminating finding was that their runtime at age 20 on that treadmill test was a surprisingly reliable predictor of psychological adjustment throughout adulthood.
Seriously, how long they lasted on a treadmill predicted life adjustment decades later.
Even after controlling for baseline physical fitness. This raises an important question. What does this all mean for how we fare in the marathon of life?
It means effort counts tremendously. Our ability to persist through discomfort, to endure when things are difficult, translates directly to long-term well-being and success. It's the power of perseverance.
So we've covered the crucial role of perseverance, but let's shift to the equally vital component of grip, passion.
Right, the other side of the coin.
It's a word we often use loosely, associating it with intense, fleeting emotions, like falling in love with a new hobby for a week.
Yeah, been there.
But Duckworth's grit scale has a very specific, maybe counterintuitive understanding of passion. It's not about those fleeting bursts.
No, what is it then?
The passion questions on the grit scale fundamentally focus on consistency over time. As she puts it so succinctly, enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare.
Endurance. That's a crucial distinction. When you look at high achievers, the gritty paragons, they consistently talk about commitment of a different kind. An abiding, loyal, steady devotion to an ultimate goal.
Staying in love with it, not just falling in love.
Exactly. Even when it's difficult, tedious, frustrating, they wake up thinking about the same questions they fell asleep with, maintaining focus over years, even decades. This provides a powerful internal compass.
A great example of this unfolding process of discovering and building passion is Jeff Gettleman's journey.
The journalist.
Right. He went from an unfocused philosophy major at Cornell to the distinguished New York Times as East Africa bureau chief. Highly respected, dangerous posting.
How did that happen? Was he always passionate about journalism?
Not at all. His initial visit to East Africa as a freshman just blew his mind. The landscapes, cultures, challenges, it resonated deeply.
Okay, so Africa sparked something.
Yeah. It compelled him to take Swahili courses, travel back there.
But what's truly important here is that his passion wasn't passively discovered, like finding a hidden gem. It was actively constructed over time.
How so?
He initially dismissed journalism when a professor suggested it, thought, who wants to work for a boring newspaper? It seemed disconnected from his Africa experience.
But he resisted it at first.
But eventually realized journalism could be a powerful means to an end, a way to return to and work in Africa. His journey was a long and winding road. Various papers, stories he didn't care about.
Before he finally got there.
Right. It illustrates passion is less like fireworks quick flash then gone, and much more like a compass that takes time to build, tinker with, calibrate, slowly guiding you where you want to be.
Even if the path isn't straight. That idea of an overarching direction, a guiding compass, leads us to Pete Carroll.
The football coach.
Yep. After being fired from the Patriots in the late 90s, a real low point, he didn't just look for another job. He spent a year reflecting.
Soul-searching.
And realized he needed a deeply personal philosophy that would drive all his actions. A guiding light, much like John Wooden, the famous UCLA coach, had.
Carroll's realization highlights the concept of goal hierarchies. In this framework, a top-level goal, like his coaching philosophy or Gettleman's desire to work in Africa.
It's the ultimate destination.
It's an end in itself. Psychologists call it an ultimate concern. This singular top-level goal then gives direction and meaning to all the goals below it, creating a cohesive pyramid.
Like a North Star for everything else.
Exactly. Think of pitcher Tom Seaver. Ultimate goal. Pitch the best I possibly can day after day, year after year. Pitching made him happy. This high-level purpose made the grim daily routine of training happy for him.
It gave meaning to the grind.
His ultimate goal provided deep meaning and joy to all his lower-order goals.
So what happens when you don't have that coherent, unified goal structure, that clear top-level compass?
Good question. Duckworth discusses positive fantasizing.
Positive fantasizing, what's that?
Where you indulge in wonderfully vivid future visions, successful entrepreneur, world-class musician, but without actually planning how to get there.
Just daydreaming, basically.
Leads to short-term feel-good moments, temporary euphoria, but then long-term disappointment because your goal hierarchy has a grand top-level dream, but no supporting mid-level or low-level goals to bridge fantasy and reality.
The steps aren't there.
Exactly. Even more common, she observes, is having a bunch of mid-level goals that don't correspond to any unifying top-level goals.
Like wanting to do everything at once.
Yeah. Learn 3 instruments, 4 languages, run a marathon, start a business, but without any overarching reason or connection, just a collection of activities without shared direction.
So how do you fix that?
Duckworth suggests an exercise inspired by Warren Buffett.
The investor.
Right. Buffett advises, list 25 career goals, circle your top 5, then avoid the other 20 at all costs because they distract you, eat away time and energy.
Focus on the top 5. Makes sense.
Duckworth adds a crucial 4th step. To what extent do these goals serve a common purpose? The more your goals are part of the same hierarchy, serving the same ultimate concern, the more focused and powerful your passion becomes.
Connecting the dots upward.
Exactly, sustaining you through the inevitable plateaus and setbacks.
Now, let's talk about perseverance, the other equally critical side of the great coin.
Sticking with it when things get tough.
Right. True perseverance often means not just pushing through, but also embracing rejection, adapting your approach, learning to get back up. Consider the New Yorker cartoonists.
Oh, the rejection rates there are legendary.
Aren't they? Roz Chast, celebrated cartoonist, instantly recognizable work, still has a 90% rejection rate.
90%? Even now?
Even now. And for contract cartoonists, who have way better odds than the thousands submitting, the rejection rate is still over 96%.
That's just brutal. How does anyone keep going? I'd be curled up in a ball.
Me too.
It is brutal, but what stands out is how a gritty individual responds. Bob Mankoff.
Who became the cartoon editor, right?
Yep. He faced an estimated 2,000 rejections before he sold his first cartoon to the magazine.
2,000.
His response wasn't just try again the same way. He was tenacious, yes, but he also embraced try something different.
He adapted.
He systematically studied published cartoons' structure, humor, style. Realized it wasn't just drawing skill or caption length, but finding a unique voice. He found his distinct style, which led to his breakthrough.
So persistence plus adaptation.
Key insight. Giving up on lower-level goals, a specific cartoon, a particular approach, is not only forgivable but sometimes absolutely necessary if they can be swapped for better means to the same ultimate end.
Don't give up the main goal, but be flexible on the path.
Exactly. This adaptive perseverance aligns with the Green Berets' motto: improvise, adapt, overcome, flexibility within a fixed direction.
Let's delve even deeper into the fascinating neurobiology of hope and overcoming adversity, how our minds are actually wired for perseverance.
Yeah, the brain science is compelling. This brings us to Marty Seligman and Steve Mayer's seminal 1964 experiment on learned helplessness.
The one with the dogs.
That's the one. Classic study. Some dogs received electric shocks but could stop them by pushing a panel. Control.
Okay.
Other dogs received the exact same shocks but had no control whatsoever.
Okay. Same pain, no control.
Right. The next day, all dogs were put in a new environment, a shuttle box where they could easily escape a shock by jumping over a low barrier.
What happened?
2/3 of the dogs who had no control the day before just lay down, whimpering, and endured the shocks. They didn't even try to escape.
They learned to be helpless.
The core insight. It's not suffering that leads to hopelessness, but suffering you think you can't control. Perception is key.
But wait, you said 2/3. What about the other third?
That's equally fascinating. 1/3 of those dogs, despite the initial trauma and lack of control, remained resilient. They kept trying maneuvers, struggling, looking for a way out.
Innate resilience in some.
This surprising resilience led Seligman to his later work on learned optimism. His research showed optimists and pessimists face bad events equally.
But they interpret them differently.
Exactly. Optimists habitually search for temporary and specific causes of their suffering, seeing setbacks as transient and contained. Pessimists blame permanent and pervasive causes, seeing problems as universal and enduring.
So it's about the story you tell yourself about the setbacks.
Precisely. This raises an important question. What does this mean for how we can actively train our brains to be more resilient and hopeful?
This concept of learned helplessness and optimism hit home for Duckworth during her own academic journey. She describes an aha moment in her neurobiology class.
Facing her own challenge.
Big time. Facing 2 failing grades in a tough course, a situation that could easily have led her to feel helpless and quit. She chose a different path.
What'd she do?
She vividly recalls transforming her self-talk from a self-defeating, I'm an idiot, this is too hard, to a resolute, I won't quit, I can figure this out.
A conscious shift in mindset.
She resolved to stay, poured herself into the material, and went on to ace the final. Turned potential helplessness into a triumph of perseverance.
Wow. A personal validation of her own research ideas. It's a powerful illustration of how our beliefs, our self-talk, profoundly shape our outcomes.
Definitely.
Duckworth also warns about a fascinating paradox she observed. Fragile perfects.
Fragile perfects, what are they?
The high achievers who've cruised through life with seemingly effortless success, often praised for innate talent, never having truly failed at anything significant.
Okay, so what's the problem?
The problem comes when they hit their first major failure. A tough project, rejection, setback. They struggle profoundly to recover because, simply put, they've never practiced falling down and getting back up.
They lack the muscle memory for adversity.
Exactly. They lack the psychological fortitude built through past struggle. Keyvan Asamani's story is a powerful contrast.
Drangi.
Valedictorian, student body president, but from a severely disadvantaged background, father's violence, mother in coma. When he got a C in college, his reaction wasn't despair.
No. What was it?
Immediate growth mindset. I know what I did wrong to get the C, and a commitment to applying all the grit I have to improving myself. He knew how to overcome. That self-knowledge was his strength.
This brings us directly to Carol Dweck's groundbreaking research on fixed versus growth mindsets.
Ah, yes. Fix versus growth. Foundational concept.
A fixed mindset. The belief that intelligence, talent, abilities are static, unchangeable. You either have them or you don't.
The set in stone.
In contrast, a growth mindset. The empowering belief that intelligence and talent can improve significantly with effort, learning, dedication.
Malleable, improvable.
And Dweck's research, increasingly supported by brain imaging, shows learning literally changes the structure of our brains. The brain is incredibly plastic.
Constantly adapting, forming new connections. The neurobiology of hope, as Steve Mayer explains, confirms this link between mindset and resilience. Our higher-order brain areas, the prefrontal cortex,
The thinking part of the brain.
regulate our limbic structures, like the amygdala, the primitive parts responding to stress and fear. When you have a growth mindset, a belief like, I can do something about this, these higher inhibitory structures are activated. They send a calming message, cool it down, to the amygdala, dampening fear, allowing rational thought.
So your belief literally changes your brain's response to stress.
Yes, but here's the critical part. You can't just talk yourself into it. For this rewiring, this learned optimism, to stick, you must experience mastery at the same time as adversity.
Meaning?
It's the active process of struggling, failing, adapting, and then succeeding in overcoming a challenge that truly builds resilience and hardwires hope. You have to put in the effort and see results, even small ones.
Learn by doing, essentially. Another critical component of perseverance, often overlooked in our individualistic success stories, is seeking and accepting support.
Right. We don't do it alone.
Consider Rhonda Hughes, a mathematician. Early in her career, she faced an astounding 79 rejections for faculty positions.
79, that's soul-crushing.
Unbelievable. Yet she emphasizes, setbacks don't discourage me for long, I get back on my feet.
What's crucial to her story, however, is that Rhonda almost never got back up all by herself. She relied heavily on a wise mentor.
A mentor.
After she struggled with a particularly tough test, this mentor didn't just commiserate. Instead, the mentor meticulously mapped out her entire academic path, right courses, right people, ensuring support from other faculty.
Strategic support.
As Rhonda herself puts it, I think everyone needs somebody like that. It highlights a vital truth. Even the grittiest individuals aren't lone wolves. They leverage external support, mentorship, community to persist.
It's often the hand of another that helps us truly embody perseverance.
Absolutely.
So if we promise to unlock a more universal secret to achievement, and we've unpacked the talent myth and laid out the grit equation, how do we actively apply all of this?
Yeah, the how-to. How do we cultivate more grit in our own daily lives?
Let's start with cultivating a growth mindset. This means actively updating your deeply held beliefs about intelligence and talent.
Challenging those fixed ideas.
Right. Understanding brain plasticity, recognizing that research shows brains constantly change, even IQ scores aren't entirely fixed. Accepting your abilities aren't set in stone, but can be developed.
And behavioral science offers practical tools. Approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT,
DBT, right.
teach you to identify and reframe unhelpful thought patterns, modify negative self-talk, stop it from controlling your actions. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, helps you observe difficult thoughts without letting them control you.
Notice the thought, but choose your action.
Exactly, fostering psychological flexibility. The goal isn't eliminating negative thoughts, but noticing them, choosing your response, moving toward your goals anyway, actively rewiring your thought processes.
We see how important cultivating this mindset is, even from childhood. Research shows teachers who gave special privileges to high performers or emphasized comparisons
Praising them for being smart.
subtly instilled a fixed mindset. These students later preferred easy problems, fearing difficult ones might expose a lack of innate intelligence. Afraid to fail, thus afraid to grow.
And it extends profoundly to parenting. Children develop more of a fixed mindset when parents react to mistakes or struggles as harmful and problematic, even if parents say they have a growth mindset.
Actions speak louder than words.
You got it. As James Baldwin famously said, children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. Our actions, our responses to setbacks, shape their beliefs far more than our words.
Model fear of failure, they internalize it. Powerful lesson. There are clear corporate parallels too.
Oh yeah, mindset shapes culture.
Fixed mindset companies, where only stars are valued, often foster secrecy, unhealthy competition, even cheating. Employees fear admitting mistakes or asking for help.
Afraid to expose their lack of talent.
Growth mindset cultures, in contrast, promote psychological safety, trust, open communication about failures, innovation, healthy risk-taking. Learning and effort are valued above all.
Bill McNabb, former CEO of Vanguard, provides a personal example of this shift.
How so?
He admits he initially had a fixed mindset, praised for talent, prided himself on not working hard. But joining the crew team in college, where he was not a natural,
Had to really struggle.
forced him to confront his limits and learn the profound value of hard work really, really matters. This experience, pushing through failure and discomfort, affirmed his growth mindset.
Changed his perspective.
Taught him to step back, analyze, and learn from setbacks, and crucially, to stay optimistic even when things were incredibly difficult. This transformation impacted his leadership philosophy at Vanguard.
Moving on to purpose. What does it mean to connect with what Duckworth calls the ultimate concern? The powerful idea that what we do matters to people other than ourselves.
Ah, the deeper meaning. It's a fundamental human longing, often propelling the grittiest individuals. Aristotle differentiated between eudaimonic happiness,
Which is
well-being from living in harmony with one's spirit, serving a greater good, versus hedonic happiness, self-centered pleasure, momentary gratification. Aristotle deemed eudaimonic nobler, more enduring.
and grit connects to this.
While grit doesn't require altruism, connecting one's work to benefiting others, contributing to something larger, significantly enhances passion, makes it more sustainable. A survey of zookeepers, for instance,
Zookeepers. Okay.
found those viewing their work as a calling felt deep purpose, more willing to sacrifice unpaid time, endure difficult conditions for their animals, a moral obligation, more than just a paycheck.
This is beautifully illustrated by the classic parable of the bricklayer.
Ah, yes. Love that one.
One sees himself just laying bricks, another building a wall. The third, doing the exact same thing, sees himself building a magnificent cathedral.
Same job, vastly different experience and purpose.
Amy Wrzesniewski's research powerfully reinforces this. Any occupation can be subjectively experienced as a simple job, paycheck, a career, advancement, or a true calling, intrinsically fulfilling, contributes to greater good.
And she developed the practical concept of job crafting.
Job crafting, how does that work?
It's not about finding a new job. It involves actively maneuvering and tweaking elements within your existing job to better match your interests, values, strengths.
Like customizing your current role.
Exactly. Taking on new tasks, reframing relationships, changing interactions. Her studies at Google showed employees in job crafting workshops were rated happier, more effective, higher job satisfaction. Purpose can be actively built even within existing roles.
We see this powerful transformation with Joe Leader, a transit engineer.
The train guy.
His journey started simply with the fun of track work, a hands-on interest, grew into a long-term career with advancement, but eventually became a profound calling
Ow.
as he realized his larger contribution. Not just moving trains, but moving people, connecting communities, building lasting infrastructure bridges, tunnels, tracks benefiting generations. He found his why.
Michael Bain, the UPenn professor of internal medicine, had a similar, maybe even longer journey.
The doctor.
Pursued medicine, respected field, but felt unfulfilled for years. Why? Didn't align with his deepest personal interest in mindfulness, obsessed since boyhood.
So his job didn't match his passion.
Took him decades, but only when he courageously integrated his personal interest, mindfulness, with the purpose of helping patients through mindfulness classes and research, did his work become a true calling. Melding interest and purpose led to fulfillment.
This power of purpose, contributing beyond yourself, is truly profound. Duckworth describes creating Summer Bridge, helping underprivileged kids.
Yeah, that early project.
She recalls feeling courage and energy neither of us had ever known before. Not about personal gain, but because they were doing it for a greater cause,
Right.
helping those kids thrive. Shared purpose ignited an internal fire.
It's important to note, though, that for many gritty paragons, the road to a purposeful passion is often unpredictable, not straight.
Like the Fontes.
Aurora and Franco Fonte started cleaning shopping malls out of necessity, not calling, grueling hours, but eventually built a successful company by finding pride in quality work, serving clients.
Purpose emerged from necessity and pride.
Or Kat Cole, former Cinnabon president, incredible rags to riches story, but more profoundly from poverty to purpose, driven by curiosity and desire to be helpful.
Like cooking at Hooters.
Exactly. When the cooks quit, she jumped in. Not about her job title, about serving customers, keeping things running, being useful. Purpose can emerge and deepen over time, even from humble beginnings.
Shifting gears, let's talk about how parenting and mentoring can profoundly cultivate grit. Historically, parenting philosophies swung wildly.
Oh yeah, extremes. John Watson, early 20th century behaviorist, advocated demanding but cold, unsupportive parenting, believed it built character through strict discipline, emotional distance.
Ouch. Sounds harsh.
Contrast sharply with modern permissive parenting, supportive, loving, but often undemanding, shying away from limits or challenges.
So neither extreme is ideal.
Research now overwhelmingly points to wise parenting or authoritative parenting as most effective. It's both demanding and supportive.
This sweet spot.
Balancing love, clear limits, appropriate latitude. Authority based on knowledge and wisdom, recognizing children's needs and autonomy. This combination encourages grit far more effectively.
We see compelling examples. Steve Young, the NFL Hall of Famer.
His dad grit.
Exactly. His father wouldn't let him quit baseball or football, pushing him through discomfort. But crucially, his mother, Sherry, provided vital underlying selflessness and support.
Balancing the push with support.
She sat in his second-grade class for weeks to help him overcome separation anxiety. Unconditional love. It was tough love paired with deep empathy, demanding actions rooted in his best interest.
This powerful balance is also evident in Francesca Martinez's parents.
The comedian with cerebral palsy.
Right, Tina and Alex. She describes him as absurdly cool, supportive, accepting, but also practicing no-nonsense parenting, firmly demanding no self-pity.
Tough but loving.
They instilled profound self-worth through unwavering belief, helping her stick with things despite challenges. Balance of love and limits fostered incredible resilience. This highlights a powerful observation. Kids don't just imitate. When parents are loving, respectful, demanding wisely, kids internalize values, often pursue similar interests. Emulation, not just imitation.
This dynamic extends powerfully to mentoring. Toby Litka, Shopify founder,
His mentor, Jürgen,
provided unsparing but specific feedback on his code, constantly pushing him slightly outside his comfort zone. Jürgen wouldn't just tell him what to do, he'd manufacture situations for Toby to overcome through trial and error.
Yeah.
Like sending him solo to GM.
Yep. Fresh out of apprenticeship, sent alone to lead a complex software installation, sink or swim, forcing him to solve problems in real time.
That's intense mentoring.
Jürgen's approach exemplifies wise mentoring. Challenged Toby, didn't let him off the hook, allowed him to experience mastery at the same time as adversity.
That phrase again, crucial.
This challenging yet supportive feedback, believing in potential but demanding the best, is crucial. Ron Ferguson's research on wise teachers reinforces this. Teachers who are both demanding, accepts nothing less than our best effort, and supportive, know if something is bothering students, produce greater academic gains.
A simple yet powerful illustration. The wise feedback experiment.
The Post-it note.
Right. Students got to post it on essays. I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them.
High challenge, high support.
This simple message literally doubled student revisions compared to a placebo. Taps into belief in their potential.
Cody Coleman's story is another powerful testament. MIT grad, electrical engineering and computer science.
From a tough background, remedial English.
Remarkable achievement. Harbored self-limiting beliefs about college. But his older brother acted as a crucial mentor.
What did he say?
Challenged those beliefs directly, looked Cody in the eye, said, "You have nothing to lose by trying." This external belief, simple encouragement, was the difference, enabling Cody to pursue ambitious goals.
Sometimes you just need someone to believe in you. Finally, let's talk about a practical framework, starting with the hard thing rule and extracurriculars.
The fun stuff, that's also hard work.
Exactly. While measuring impact is tricky, Research strongly suggests extracurriculars are crucial training grounds for grit. Kids in these activities report feeling both challenged and having fun, a potent combo often missing elsewhere.
They willingly push themselves.
And the data supports their impact. Dan Willingham's research found follow-through in high school extracurriculars, sticking with an activity over a year,
Just sticking with it.
was the single best predictor of college academic honors leadership, notable accomplishments in young adulthood, better than SATs or grades.
Wow. Better than SATs. Why does this happen?
The corresponsive principle offers an explanation. We gravitate to environments matching our traits, and those environments further strengthen those traits.
So choosing a hard thing makes you grittier.
And that makes you more likely to choose another hard thing, a self-reinforcing, cycle-building character.
This idea of building effort capacity is backed by Robert Eisenberger's learned industriousness experiments.
With rats and kids.
Yep. Being required to work hard for rewards in one task increased their vigor and endurance in subsequent unrelated difficult tasks, like building a general effort muscle.
Transferable effort.
Okay. Angela Duckworth's own family lives by a powerful, practical framework. The hard thing rule. Three parts.
Okay, what are they?
1. Everyone does a hard thing. Non-negotiable. Each family member, including parents, commits to at least one activity requiring daily, deliberate practice. Research, yoga, real estate, running, piano. Key is consistent, focused effort. You can quit, but not on a bad day. Critical. Must finish the committed interval, season, tuition, etc. Only quit at a natural stopping point. Never impulsively when frustrated or tired. Teaches emotional regulation, commitment.
And 3.
You choose your hard thing. Provides agency, ownership. Commitment is mandatory, but the activity is chosen individually, ensuring internal motivation. Practical framework allowing autonomy while instilling discipline.
She notes how her daughters following this learned profound lessons in ballet class, high standards, endless repetition, adjustments, even history lectures.
Building grit through pliés.
Through this demanding practice, they acquired hope belief. Things would get better when bad days inevitably became good ones. Learned effort yields results.
This all leads to a powerful overarching conclusion.
Yeah.
If you want to be grittier, find a gritty culture and join it. If you're a leader, create a gritty culture.
The environment matters a lot.
As sociologist Dan Chambliss observed with Olympic swimmers, being around others, getting up at 4 a.m. for practice makes it no big deal. The easy way to grit is to use conformity. If you're around a lot of gritty people, you're going to act grittier. Social environment shapes behavior, then traits.
This isn't just short-term conformity, but profoundly internalizing a culture, shaping identity. Consider Tom, the soldier shot in Iraq.
His recovery story.
Made a promise to run a 10-mile race. Doctors said he might not walk normally again. His response, "You don't know me?" Worked fiercely in physical therapy, enduring zingers of pain.
Driven by
An unwavering internal conviction. That's not who I am. This is the way I do things and why. His identity, forged by military culture and commitment, became his indomitable driving force.
And this cultural influence can be seen in entire nations. Finland's sisu, not just a word, a deep cultural belief in guts and determination, stoic resilience, extraordinary perseverance. Most Finns believe sisu can be learned, cultivated through effort and challenge, reinforced by cultural practices like scouting association jaunts into the wilderness.
A national philosophy of enduring effort. Leaders who get this actively build gritty cultures. Jamie Dimon at JPMorgan Chase
His own firing shaped his fortitude.
emphasizes relentless communication, core values, capability, character, how they treat people, preaches continuous growth, learning from mistakes, deep commitment, creates a culture where sustained effort is the norm.
Anson Dorrance, UNC women's soccer coach, builds incredible culture. Team often out-recruited by programs with more natural talent, but consistently wins championships.
How?
Uses the grit scale, beep test for mental toughness, and the competitive cauldron, a system built on 12 core values, memorized quotes. Creates shared language, ethos for extreme competitiveness, pushing limits within a framework of support. Deliberately engineers grit.
And Pete Carroll, Seahawks coach. Builds culture around deep and rich support and relentless challenge to improve. Competition Wednesdays, where every drill is a competition. Common language. Always compete. Finish strong. Positive self-talk. Team first. No synonyms.
Not just jargon.
A shared cultural code enforcing a mindset that pushes beyond what you can do today so that tomorrow you're just a little bit better. Continuous incremental pursuit of excellence.
Ultimately, the universal principle for fostering grit, whether in individuals, teams, organizations, boils down to this powerful combination: deep and rich support and relentless challenge to improve.
That balance again.
Creating an environment where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable, make mistakes, push limits, knowing they are both believed in and expected to grow. This dynamic interplay is where true, sustainable grit is forged.
So we've taken a deep dive into the profound power of grit, understanding that what you accomplish in the marathon of life depends tremendously, perhaps disproportionately, on your passion and perseverance for long-term goals.
Yeah, it's not just about the sprint.
We've seen how an almost obsessive focus on innate talent can distract us from this simple but powerful truth, and how effort truly counts twice.
Build skill, make skill productive.
Transforming potential into capability, then capability into tangible achievement. We've explored how passion isn't just a sudden spark, but deep, consistent, enduring devotion to an ultimate purpose.
The compass, not the fireworks.
And how perseverance means not just pushing through, but intelligently getting back up, adapting, learning from every single setback.
The insights from this deep dive show us unequivocally that grit isn't fixed. You're not just born with it or without it.
Huge relief for many, I bet.
It's something you can absolutely cultivate and strengthen throughout life. It grows powerfully from within growth mindset, sense of purpose, connecting actions to something larger.
And from the outside.
Nurtured from the outside by wise parenting, supportive mentors, and by intentionally joining or creating gritty cultures where perseverance is the norm. The hard thing rule gives a practical daily mechanism.
So, what does all of this mean for you listening right now? If we've made the case that genius isn't just innate, but cultivated through tireless effort, what boundless potential does that unlock?
Yeah, think about that.
As the acclaimed journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates, a masterful example of perseverance, says, "Failure is probably the most important factor in all of my work. Writing is failure. Over and over and over again."
Wow. Embracing failure as part of the process.
He describes success not as sudden brilliance, but a slow, deliberate, often agonizing process of making something not so bad, then maybe average, and if you're lucky, maybe get to good.
Humbling perspective on excellence.
This raises an important question for all of us. If we redefine genius not as some innate magical ability bestowed at birth, but as working toward excellence ceaselessly with every element of your being,
Then what becomes possible?
then that profound transformative genius, if you're willing to put in the work, is within you too.
Thanks for tuning in to the Book Summary Podcast. If you found value in today's episode, hit that like button, subscribe for more summaries, and share it with someone who's ready to grow. Want deeper insights, exclusive book notes, and reading tips? Join our free newsletter. The link's in the description. And don't forget, if you'd like to read the full book, our affiliate link is right below. It helps support the channel and keeps the summaries coming. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing.